Hello, I'm Susan Woods of Susan Woods Nonprofit Solutions. Thank you for your time. Is your nonprofit's Form 990 due to the IRS? The Form 990 information return is the annual return that nonprofit leaders submit to the IRS to retain 501c3 status. The IRS requires nonprofit leaders to submit the Form 990 by the fifth month and 15th day after the fiscal year ends. Therefore, if the nonprofit leaders selected June 30th as the fiscal year end for the nonprofit organization, then the Form 990 is due on November the 15th. Here's a snapshot of when your nonprofit Form 990 information return is due based on your fiscal year end. For example, if your fiscal year ends on January the 31st, then your 990 return is due on June the 15th. When you think about the rule that I just shared, your Form 990 information return is due by the fifth month and 15th day after the fiscal year ends. So this is just an at-a-glance chart or table to show you when your nonprofit organization's Form 990 information return is due based on your fiscal year end. So the question is, when is your nonprofit Form 990 information return due? And if your fiscal year ended this year on June the 30th, then your Form 990 information return is due on November the 15th, which is right around the corner. So now let's talk about the types of Form 990s. The types of Form 990s are determined by the gross receipts and the assets. For example, if your nonprofit organization generated $200,000 or more, and if it has assets of $500,000 or more, then your nonprofit organization would complete the Form 990. If your nonprofit organization generated between $50,001 to $199,999 and the assets are less than $500,000, then your nonprofit organization qualifies to complete the 990EZ. If your nonprofit organization generated between $0 and $50,000 and the assets are not applicable, then your organization qualifies to complete the Form 990N. Now, let me pause for a moment so that I can emphasize the zero, because a lot of times nonprofit leaders believe that if their organization does not generate any revenues at all, then they don't have to file a Form 990, and that is not the case. If your organization is not operating for whatever reason, but you want to retain the 501c3 status, then you still have to file the Form 990N regardless. And you will just file that you did not generate any revenues. And that's fine. The IRS doesn't have a problem with that. The IRS has a problem when you don't file at all. So if you did not generate any revenues, if you have zero revenues, you must file a Form 990N ePostcard to represent that. So, if you are feeling overwhelmed by the information that I've shared with you so far, let me help you. All you have to do is go to my website, which is trustsusanwoods.com, select the Form 990N survey link from the menu options. Then you will complete the Form 990 survey. After you complete the survey, you will reserve an appointment with me over the phone. You will process a $50 payment, and then I will complete the Form 990 information return for you. Now, let me let you know about something that happened this year. In June of this year, the IRS implemented a two-step authentication process in order for nonprofit leaders to file their Form 990 information returns. That is why I have to reserve a phone appointment with you to complete the two-step authentication process while you are on the phone. So that's a slightly different process that I've used in the past. But that's the reason why we have to actually reserve an appointment, process the $50 payment, and then we will go through the steps together to complete your Form 990 in ePostcard over the phone. Then I will send you the filing receipt that will prove to the IRS that you have filed the Form 990 in ePostcard for this fiscal year. And that's very, very important to do that and to have that for your permanent records. So, in conclusion, do not lose your 501c3 status, please. The IRS revokes the 501c3 status when nonprofit leaders fail to file the Form 990 for 3 consecutive years. As a result, you would need to complete the Form 1023 application all over again to apply for 501c3 status, pay the IRS processing fee again, and you will have to determine which reinstatement option is best for your nonprofit organization. That's a lot of extra work that you will have to do if you allow your nonprofit status to be revoked. Don't do that. And you can avoid having the IRS revoke your status by completing the Form 990 each year. Don't miss 1 year. And finally, if your organization qualifies for the Form 990 e-postcard because it didn't generate more than $50,000 in the fiscal year, I can help you. You can hire me to complete the Form 990 e-postcard for you. Again, all you have to do is go to my website, trustsusanwoods.com, select the Form 990 survey, and follow the steps that you see there. Again, I'm Susan Woods of Susan Woods Nonprofit Solutions. I've completed the Form 990 e-postcard for clients across the United States for the last 5 years. And I always provide a filing receipt for their permanent records to prove to anyone, not just the IRS, but to anyone that they filed their Form 990 e-postcard successfully. That is very, very important. Thank you so much for your time and have a great day.